Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
And I'm feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues.
LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
Excuse me, my hair needs attention, along with my legs, along with my heels, along with my kitchen towels. Kill me. What am I doing? What was all that? What is it for? What is any of it for? Can you handle it?
Nevertheless, he persisted.
Well, I'm very self-conscious today about my curls. Something devastating is happening with my hair. I can't figure out what it wants to do.
I would not use the word devastating.
I can't tell what it wants to do, what it is doing. I wore a red polo today, and not because I just got off my shift at Target, but I'm realizing that red makes me look like jolly young St. Nicholas.
Have you not
I look rosier.
considered a headband in your life?
I need to.
Why not? If what's his name can do it. Oh, oi, it's me. I'm in the movie with the spinny top. What's the
Henry
one where
Higgins?
they spin the top?
Chitty
and they're
Chitty
like,
Bang Bang?
Oh man, I'm in a different universe. It's
Jumanji?
with Leo DiCaprio.
Oh,
Inception.
That was
Who's
your
that
impression
guy?
of Inception?
Who's the Cheerio
ahoy,
guy?
matey? The Cheerio guy?
The British
Leonardo
guy in
DiCaprio?
Inception.
Oh God, I don't know. Was it Gary Oldman? I can't remember.
No, he's
All
younger.
I know is
but
right
he
when the
wears a
movie ended.
headband. He wears headbands a lot.
He's younger than that?
Yeah, but he's like a little younger than us. He's a British guy.
Okay,
remember he told GQ he loves to suck dick sometimes. Tom Hardy. There you go. Thanks,
yes, Tom
Alma.
Hardy. Okay, got it. Yes, of course.
Thanks to our lady attorneys, aka our 3rd, 4th through 27th brain.
Absolutely.
Joining us for this live show.
When I saw Inception, there was a guy sitting in my row talking the whole time, explaining it to his date. And she was over it for sure. Because he was like, this is my 4th time seeing this. And she was like, oh, I thought you hadn't seen it. He was like, no, I've seen it 4 times. Just want to be like extra prepared for this date when we saw it. The movie, he's explaining everything to her. She's asked no questions. The movie ends. Right when it ends, he jumps on his feet and gives it a standing ovation. He's the only one in there.
Not undeserved. What, name a movie you've seen that you deserved a standing ovation?
A standing ovation?
Name
I mean,
one.
There have been movies.
What is this, Nickelodeon days?
Never.
Did the organist do quite a job tonight?
I do remember when I saw Chicago in the movie theaters that people
with
applauded
Renee
after
Zellweger?
the musical. Yes, the people applauded after the musical numbers.
Okay.
That was fun.
I don't think that's deserved.
Anyway, can we get this out of the way right now? Because while I talked about it last week, I wasn't sure exactly where to point people to. But Erin's new show, The Chicken Sisters, is so good.
Thanks, Bryan.
She was a producer on it. She wrote on it. She was one of the top dogs. Can I say?
Friend of the podcast, Annie, made it all happen.
Annie Mebane, also friend of the podcast, Genevieve Angelson is on the show.
That's right.
Also, the one and only Wendy Malick shouting out Erin in the Q&A after the premiere, which
we're
blew me away.
2 ladies who love overalls.
I gotta tell you, I could see you growing into Wendy Malick, like in however long. I mean, she looks stunning, but like you growing into that she reminded me of you, to be honest.
She's a person who gives 0 fucks, which I appreciate.
Yep.
You can't find it here in Canada. Well, Atlantis, have you heard of a VPN blocker? Huh?
Oh, you can't. It's not in the States yet?
No, it's not in Canada, but you can do a VPN blocker.
Oh, it's not in Canada. Got it.
But then you have to do an app. It's like, I don't really know. Hallmark decided after the mass exodus of Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah. Listen.
That they were going to rebrand.
I almost went with her. Yeah.
And they were like, what if we rebranded in a way that nobody saw coming?
Right.
Thank you, Bryan. Bryan went to the premiere.
I did. It was so much fun. It's so good. The actors are incredible. It's Skylar Fisk, who I know she's not going to appreciate this, but is Sissy Spacek's daughter, and I'm fascinated by that on my own. She's also got
her dad is Jack Fisk, who's like Scorsese's
DP or something.
#1 art director.
Oh wow.
He built the house the Terrence Malick movie with Sissy Spacek?
Badlands?
Yeah, he built that weird house in the middle of the field.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, she has such a presence and a grace and an
What a
ease.
talented,
She's
and her
so
sister's
natural.
a talented artist also.
She's really incredible. Genevieve knocking it out of the park like we always know she does. It was just Wendy Malick, Leah Thompson. It's so good. So everyone, please do watch it.
It's on Hallmark. Believe it
It's
or
on
not.
Hallmark.
If you can even believe these words are coming out
It's
of
like
my
how
mouth.
we were on TV Land because Chicken Sisters, I get that Hallmark is probably rebranding and that makes sense because this isn't what you would necessarily, listen, I'll deep dive into a Hallmark movie, but this isn't what you would necessarily expect from them, but I loved it. I loved it.
No, Annie created a really good show because she's brilliant. And she's a story monster and she just knows TV. It's in her bones.
Yeah. Right.
It's in her bones.
Yeah, I heard it the first time I heard it the first time.
Annie wants to come on Groceries.
Okay, well, I'll have to do a deep think about that. That's not really something I like to give away. Tell her to listen to the song Both Sides Now when Joni Mitchell says, don't give yourself away, because that's how I live and die by Groceries. Groceries, by the way, she can come on anytime. All that
Groceries is out.
Groceries is out, honey. I went to the Wegmans in Astor Place. Erin went to McCall's. That episode is out now. More episodes coming. I know I had never done Erewhon before. I'm going to Erewhon, Trader Joe's to sample their
I
new
have
stuff.
Canadian stores, Fresh Street Market. Hello, parking for one.
Also, Citarella, New York. I mean, we're running the gamut. And I have to say,
oh, and I'm going to Philly next week.
Oh, you are?
So if anybody has a Philly store they want me to cover, but it has to be specific to Philly because I want it to be like homegrown, you know?
Yes.
Let me know.
And Groceries is available to anyone on the $10 tier and obviously up. So everyone on the Lady Attorney
all the
level
Lady
is
Attorneys have it.
getting the Groceries episodes, which is fabulous. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff happening. Not with me personally. I spent the weekend with Sherman and he was here and
did he appreciate you?
I want him to be a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually Wendy Malick.
In what way?
I think I appreciate him more than he appreciates me. And that's not a dynamic I'm terribly comfortable with. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he didn't seem interested in, you know how I do. I watch my old episodes of 911 every night and binge watch my scenes.
With you in your turban. Yeah,
exactly. And I have my
Norma Desmond style.
He didn't even look at the screen.
Oh, that's
He's
so sad.
Unimpressed. And then we went to the dog park. I was hoping he'd slut around a little bit because that I could appreciate even more, but he didn't. He just played with some of the dogs. It just wasn't the weekend I had envisioned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't.
And it
ask
really
me for
was
my
about
autograph. He didn't ask me for my autograph. It wasn't really what I was hoping for. Friday. Saturday.
Did you do anything fun in Texas? You were in Texas?
I was in Texas. Did I do anything fun?
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. I
no,
really
it was
didn't mean
fine.
to bring it up.
I
Was it
didn't really
hot?
Not like in LA. I was there during the heat wave. It was 108 here in Los Angeles.
LA's a nightmare right now. Wait till the Santa Ana. Everyone's going to cool off and then the fucking Santa Ana's going to kick up.
I did watch A Perfect Couple or The Perfect Couple, the Nicole Kidman series.
Okay, so you're now going to be the second. So I'm curious about your take because I had a friend who was like, you have to watch it ASAP.
This is so I watched it with my parents and they did the classic thing where my dad explains what's happening while it's happening, like through the entire show. It's not a complicated show. You understand? It's basically a soap opera.
Uh-huh.
And my mom could not stop talking about what a dog and how hideous Liev Schreiber is. She goes, I know I've seen him and I've never liked him. Okay. She acted like she had seen him in person and he had wronged her.
Oh,
she kept saying, she was like, he is so ugly. I don't know who would sleep with him.
I know a very gorgeous woman who would.
I told my mom, I think most people have the opposite impression about Liev Schreiber. I think most people, I even said, I think most people think he's kind of sexy. She goes, not at all. Round face, hair in the eyes. By the way, he has like a shaved head on that show. But she said that his like scruff looked like it was in his eyes, which it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, she couldn't stand it. And she said, she kept saying,
is he supposed to be Nicole Kidman's husband?
And my mom kept saying, I feel like she thinks this is how people live their lives because she was like, what is Nicole Kidman doing married to him? She's so beautiful. She's so classy.
Now,
Why
did you
she
tell your
marry
mom
him?
this was a TV show?
I go, well, this isn't Nicole Kidman. And my dad did say, he was like, wow, Nicole Kidman just seems like she only plays icy women. And I was like, yeah, that's about it now. That's really all she does. But what else do we want from her? I don't say,
know. What do we want? We want her doing cartwheels. We want her doing the make 'em laugh song. No, I don't want that.
The perfect couple really was like a scripted thing they would do on RuPaul's Drag Race. Like it was so draggy. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so, it's like
was
White
there a lot
Lotus,
of looks?
but without any edge. So
Was there
it's
a
like
lot of
very
looks?
campy, a lot of looks. And Nicole Kidman's wigs. There is
wigs.
Because she only wears wigs. You know, she never wears her real hair. Her wigs.
Which is smart if you work as much as she does, because it'll burn the shit out of your hair, right?
And I know we're going to go through this during Woo or Shoe, but I got to tell you, her wigs in the same scene aren't the same. Like it'll cut back to her and she's in a wig that is way more curly than it was the last time.
That poor hair person.
Like it'll be like loose curl and then tight curl. And you're like, how did it go from me watching Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted hair to Little Orphan Annie right before my eyes? Like, what's happening?
I have a hot take.
Yeah.
Liev Schreiber is ripped Phil Collins.
You know what he has? He has the stoner complexion.
Yes.
And does that make sense? A little ruddy, but in a way that you smoke too much pot.
Yeah, you love beer.
You love beer. You love pot. Like that's his vibe. That is actually not my vibe, although I do think he's good looking. But my mom goes, pot too? I mean, he really was not her type.
Well, now we know. What is your mom's type? Who does she gush over when you watch TV with her?
I'm thinking.
Uh-huh. Like she likes a George W. kind of guy.
Hugh Grant. She likes a Hugh Grant. Yeah.
Colin
Firth. She likes Colin Firth.
Okay.
She likes, I think, British fantasy guys.
Okay. So no America. So Liev won or lost just by opening his mouth.
Yeah. I think she likes Brad Pitt, maybe.
Okay.
She doesn't like George Clooney.
Okay. That really says a lot if you come down on the side of Brad Pitt over George Clooney.
She actually gets upset when talking about George Clooney. And she says that there are people who are smarter than you, George Clooney. She thinks he's smug.
Okay. Wow. Your mom, just the invisible lives that all these people live in your mom's head.
I know. Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry your mom didn't get off on Liev Schreiber's.
Also, there's one moment where the main character, I can't remember the actress's name. She's very good. But she goes for a jog on the beach, and this person has clearly never in her life.
Run?
She's stunning. Never in her life run before.
Did she have spaghetti arms?
She had spaghetti arms and nothing was matching. Like it just was like, it was like someone pretending to be a train.
Like a baby.
Like it was like someone who was pretending to move wheels on a track with their arms and legs.
Yeah.
It was very odd.
Oh, I can't wait to see
So
this.
that part was fun.
I'm looking very much forward to that.
Yeah.
That particular part.
Yes. But that's all I've got.
This show that sounds like it's not worth anybody's time.
It sort of isn't, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, I would say you could skip it.
Did you watch the Emmys?
Yes, in fact, I'm talking a lot about them in my shoe because there was so much queer visibility this year, which was really cool. But yes, I did. I loved them, actually. It was fun to watch.
Same with the VMAs.
And with the VMAs. And if I was actually on the phone with Michelle Collins during a little part of it when Jelly Roll started singing the In Memoriam.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm sorry. I didn't know who Jelly Roll was till 3 days ago. I didn't know that all sides of the aisles were doing face tattoo guys in their music industries.
Now. Yep.
So he's the who's the guy? The
Post
one
Malone.
Yeah, he's the Post Malone of country music.
I think so, yeah.
And are they going to the same face tat person?
They must be.
Okay.
It's a little annoying too sometimes with the face tattoos when they're too thin and small. Like when it's a lot of them, but they're like really thin and like tiny. I don't know. They kind of drive me crazy.
I think these people are going to have, I hate to sound like an old lady, but I do think having essentially what is Insane Clown Posse symbols tattooed on your face is not going to stand the test of time.
Yeah, probably not. Probably. And by the way, they're not getting hired at my company.
No, Face Models Inc.
Absolutely not. It's the opposite of what Face Models Inc. is looking for.
My friend
because it's not Face Models INK. It's Face Models INC.
Exactly. My friend sent me a People magazine because she knows I'm not on the internet. I don't do the internet. So she sent me People magazine it was like Jelly Roll's wife says she's not going to wear tampons anymore. Oh, Bunny XO. She's not going to wear tampons anymore. She's going to wear a diaper. Them? I was like, what? This is out of context on 75 different levels. I stopped just out of nowhere, tampons. This People magazine thing of like, I'm going to start wearing diapers instead of tampons. Says Jelly Roll's girlfriend, Bunny XO. And I was like,
oh yeah, Bunny
I recognize
XO.
The term tampon and diaper. That's it.
Yep. Well, listen, I could only dream that someone would sing that way when I cross.
What does Jelly Roll sound like? Do you know?
Yeah, like a country singer.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make?
I mean, I love The Journey. Apparently, had a rough upbringing. I love The Journey. I'm not here for any. I'm
not a Journey judger. I'm not a Journey.
I'm not a jury.
I'm a juror.
Good for you.
I'm only a juror when it comes to my own life. But I'm the judge and jury of my own life. But I'm not my style. I'm not a jury.
You know what I mean?
Judger.
I'm an Enya fan.
You know, she didn't take home one award at the Emmys last night.
She didn't come out of her house, and I don't blame her.
But you know who did? One of this, a song. You know what took home Best Original Song? Guess what the name of the song is?
Wait, are you talking about at the VMAs? Or are you talking about the Emmys?
At the Emmys. Best original song.
So it's for a TV show.
Yep. The song is called "Which of the Pickwick Triplets Did It?" Now I don't know hell or high water.
And that's Jelly Roll?
No. By the way, I can no longer judge my mom for hating Liev Schreiber or thinking Nicole Kidman is playing Nicole Kidman in The Perfect Couple.
I know, because we did a Charlotte just now.
We really did. We've come to a stage in an age where
we're at peak. I think George Clooney is smug for no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely. Erin, we've got a lot.
Who sang Pickwick?
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? You know, I don't know, but it was written for Only Murders in the Building, so it must be a funny song, but it's my favorite song title ever.
I love it. Yeah, for sure. That's an LOL.
That's right.
Those guys love LOLs.
They love them. And LLs love Cool J. Okay, you know what? I really
No, they do LLs, and they love beans.
They love them. Ladies love bean.
Not
many people know that that's what LL Bean stands for. Ladies love Bean.
Ladies, it's like knowing that Smart and Final is their last names.
I'll never get. I really actually.
Ladies love beans.
No, it's Ladies Love Bean, Erin.
And is it Ladies Love Cool J?
Yeah. That's what the
okay.
LL stands for. Yeah.
It is. Wait, does it really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's for real.
That's for real.
Okay, so because I don't
Unless
know, Jelly Roll seems not real. The world seems like we're in a synthesizer.
Yeah, ladies love Cool James is what it really means, but it's ladies love LL Cool J.
Okay,
I kind of love it. Listen, we've got a lot.
We've got so much ground to cover, including a Dateline.
What did you think of the Emmys? Actually, I didn't even ask you.
Didn't watch it. Didn't care.
Okay.
Didn't watch it. Didn't care.
Good.
Went to bed at 6. Had an allergy attack. Went to bed at 6. Yeah, I'm telling you, the amount of meds I'm on Zyrtec, I'm on this fucking natural shit. There's ragweed all over the Southwest, and it's just making my life a living hell. So anyway,
what? I would do anything to see a children's book called Ragweed, only because I want to see the fantasy of what she looks like. Ragweed.
Ragweed? Oh yeah,
she is hot shit.
That's my drag name. By the way, LH Ragweed. Ladies hate ragweed. Okay.
I bet she is so fucking mean and hilarious.
Oh, everywhere. And the dog when he sees it, he's like, I gotta climb inside this.
Yep.
So he's bringing it in the house. You know what I mean? I gotta vacuum the dog. He hates it.
Yep.
Yeah.
LL Ragweed.
LH Ragweed. Okay, so what's happening on Columbo this week?
I don't know, Erin. I know what's happening on Dateline.
Sorry.
Wow. We're in Vicki Gunvalson, Colorado. And by that I mean
no.
Gunnison, Colorado.
Okay.
Carnies I should have everyone at that this features carnies.
And is that their words or yours?
Theirs. Oh, is that
Okay.
a slur?
I don't know.
Oh, well, they talked about carnies in there.
Okay.
Carnies, those people who work at carnivals. By the way, I use it as high praise. As far as I'm concerned, carnies are obviously well traveled.
One of my friends' last name is Carney.
See, of course. Carnies, sunburns, cowboys with shoulder length hair.
Oh, I love a cowboy with long hair.
Me too. Jelly Roll would be out of place in this part of the country. Truly. I mean, it just wouldn't. This isn't face tattoo country. You understand? This is like Gunnison, Western Colorado, ranch hand. The episode's called Trouble at the 7-Eleven Ranch. Trouble really is an understatement.
7-Eleven Ranch? That's a copyright infringement right there.
No kidding. Because one time I went to the 7-Eleven Ranch to try to pick up some skinny pop and a king cone, and they didn't have it. They said, no, we're ranchers. Okay. And I said, oh, well, then Cool Ranch, Dorito. And they said, no.
Just one Dorito. I wish they would just do one big Dorito and you would just eat it over time.
Me too.
So tiny ones.
It'd make everything so much easier.
Really would.
Also, as we mentioned, groceries out. New episodes out every Tuesday. You can send your tales from the aisles and product labels to groceriespodcast@gmail.com. We're out on YouTube. The first act of our video episodes every week are free on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Attitudes Pod. We've got our watch potties on
Discad.
On Discad, which we'll be watching the Sweet State Line there, I'm assuming. The link is in the description for the Discord. Also, a Vault episode out, one of our old episodes. We had just come back from our first shows in New York and Philly. This is where Erin and I woke up through this is when we used to room together. How sweet.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Erin and I,
Wait, can I tell you something? I'm very appreciative of that time because when I was doing this show, Chicken Sisters in Vancouver, we had some housing issues and my friend and I rented a place together for a couple weeks. And I was like, adults don't get to do this. This is really precious to me.
Yeah.
It really is. When you get to room with your friend as an adult, like
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I love it. Except you did sleep under a comforter with a blood and shit stain on it.
When I pulled back the comforter of my bed, there was a blood stain and a shit stain on it. Mm-hmm. And so Erin and I,
right by the Liberty Bell,
Erin and I decided, you know what, from here on out, let's be devoted to this hotel chain. Which is what we did.
I love a discount.
We love a discount. So please go there. Also, I'm doing my hour of stand-up at Dynasty Typewriter. You can go to bryansafi.com in Los Angeles to get tickets for that. And I hope you do. It's November 13th.
Should we get into some shoes?
Let's do it. I don't know if you've seen this latest atrocity. Probably not because it just happened, but Trump, you know who that is.
Heard of him.
Yeah. Okay, so that one. He had a rally in Tucson this week where he bragged that all of his lies and attacks on trans people, when he mentions it at rallies, it gets the biggest applause at his rallies. So really cool. So that just makes him, of course, want to mention it more because no one loves applause more than he does, and no one loves cheering.
He lives for that.
In the name of hate. Exactly. And so while that's happening, and while some states are making it much harder for people to vote, especially in Black and Hispanic communities, but also as it goes with trans people because of voter ID laws and gender on your license. All of this is complicating matters for trans people to vote, or in certain states it is. And you can certainly guess that voter ID laws, which, by the way, again, target marginalized communities, also coincide with the states who are making it harder to vote for marginalized people, and also coincides with the states that have anti-trans laws. Like, all of that shit tornado happens in the same states. It's really horrifying. Exactly. Amy brings up a good point in the chat. One of our lady attorneys, imagine bragging about making it harder for citizens to participate in democracy. It's shocking.
They're going to use democracy to turn this into a fascist state.
It's always been shocking. Yeah. It's always been shocking to me that voting days aren't paid days off, mandatory.
Or the weekend.
And that's because history has told us that when more people turn out to vote, they vote for Democrats. That's a fact. Similar with if DC had statehood, they would never control the Senate again. But probably. Like that, all these things allowing people the rights that they deserve, especially when it comes to participating in democracy, just leads to a country that wants to lean left. And sadly, when the people who are on the right don't want the country to lean left, they will do any, I don't even want to say nasty, low down, piece of nothing dog trip, because that's offensive to people like Sherman. People. Who, by the way, Sherman does lean right.
Dogs are people, my friend.
I don't know what to tell you. He's a moderate conservative, and he's not telling me what happens when he gets in the booth, so that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because Sherman is slightly homophobic. That's without question. But I will say that do
you think he's slightly homophobic because he doesn't want your autograph?
Honestly, it might just be a me thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I think he actually does like Derek.
Yeah.
And he did really like Derek's what's the word?
Partner?
After we
Yeah. The person after you.
Derek and I split up. Okay?
This is not why I was asking, but go ahead.
No, well, we're done. We've ended things.
It sounds
As
like
of,
you're.
I'm fine. I'm fine. It was, a few weeks ago? 7 years ago? 8 years? I don't know. Whatever it was. Somewhere in between then. Anyway, what does this have to do with voting rights?
Sherman is conservative, and you don't know how he votes in the booth. And then
That's
I said,
right. But he does believe in
Then we got
democracy.
homophobia, and then we, of course, as usual, are talking about your divorce.
Right. I didn't get a thing in that divorce. And you know what else he didn't either? I've never talked about that. None of us walked out. I don't know how that happened.
So
Neither
you
one
both
of us
walked out with nothing,
anything.
and you
We
left
both walked out with
everything there?
nothing.
That's idiotic, if you ask me. You should have kept that apartment. That's one thing. That's one way you both fucked up.
Well, technically I did.
Okay.
But that's on a technicality.
Okay.
What is happening right now?
Thomas said, Attitudes, the podcast hosted by two divorcees. If we don't use that as our new tagline, we are really fucking shitting the bed.
That's right. Why do you think I got divorced in the first place? To try to get this tagline off the ground. Anyway, so all of that bullshit aside, it actually was a nice week for some very cool visibility. I did mention the Emmys. I will get back to that in a moment. But Sarah McBride, a Delaware state senator, won her Democratic primary for Delaware's only House seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, which she's favored to win in November, which means when she wins, and I really am comfortable saying when she wins, because Delaware is such a stronghold for the Democratic Party, always sends a Democrat to the House, or has for the last 20 years or something. So when she is elected in the general election, she will become the first openly trans person in the United States Congress.
That's cool and overdue.
Absolutely. And she is, again, by far the heavy favorite to win. This would only be one in the series of history-making firsts for her. In 2012, Sarah McBride became the first openly trans woman to intern at the White House. In 2016, Sarah McBride became the first openly trans person to speak at the Democratic National Convention. And in 2020, she became the first to be elected to a state senate. And now she's likely to, again, make history, which is very exciting. And I have to say this, Sarah McBride does not for a moment shy away from putting LGBTQ plus rights front and center in what she wants to do when she's there.
Now, I have a question for Sarah. I know she's not on the show.
I know what you're going to say.
But according to her website, she went to the Cab Calloway School of the Arts.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if she knows how to tap, swing,
I hope so.
all the Cab Calloway tricks.
Can I be honest with you? We've never had someone tap dancing while they're taking an oath of office.
Oh, I guess it's at American University, but I didn't know it was
That's where she went, American University.
It was named after Cab Calloway.
I didn't
you?
either. No.
It's like, did you go to Tisch or Cab Calloway?
Listen, I went to Caliente Cab Company, but I'm also, to me, I did go to Tisch.
Yes,
I did go to Tish.
I've heard that many times. Yeah.
No,
so we've heard about your divorce.
No, are you talking
and
about my divorce or
okay.
when I went to Tish?
Oh, well, they're interchangeable as far as I'm concerned.
To really make this clear, I went to Tish and then years later got a divorce, but not from
I
Tish,
see.
from a person.
Right, because you can't divorce Tish.
Right, exactly. Excuse me, Amy. Yes, I did.
Don't you remember the tap dancing story, Amy? When Bryan was late for class and had to tap dance down what,
I was
Broadway?
wearing basketball shorts, the baggiest they made, a tight basically a baby tee with tap shoes on because I was running late for tap class. I wish it was called Trish too.
I'm going to start saying that when someone says
I went
they
to the Trish School of the Arts.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, you went to Tish? I went to Trish, bitch.
I went to Trish, bitch. Trish, bish. Listen.
So Sarah, sorry, back to Sarah. I didn't mean to get
McBride.
off. I didn't mean to get off on the Cab Calloway of it all.
No, that's okay. Well, she talked to the New York Times and she said that she really wants to be a voice for LGBTQ rights in Congress, where the Equality Act, which, by the way, really tried to take off in 2019. It passed the House in 2019, by the way, and then was killed in the Senate. But the Equality Act would make federal anti-discrimination laws stronger to make gender identity and sexual orientation protected classes. This is also sort of like the Equal Rights Amendment, where it's like, if everyone agrees on this, basically in the country,
why are we not
why
doing
isn't it being done? And again, it's because of,
Ding dong's in the way.
Exactly. 49 or 50 people 51 people in the fucking Senate.
Mad adult babies.
Exactly. Since winning her Senate seat, Sarah McBride has said that she also, well, no, not said, she did. She led measures to pass paid family and medical leave and increased funds for Delaware's Medicaid program. So she really does fight for the people who deserve fighting for. And she also said, the only way I can guarantee that while I may be the first, but not the last, is to be the best member of Congress I can be, to have the identity that I'm most known for, be my identity as a Delawarean and not as anything else. Listen, Delawarean is so cheap.
It's a terrible name.
Who designed your dress? Delawarean?
Tennessean
is ridiculous.
Is another one.
Ridiculous. Tennessean? Tennessean. That would be me if I was.
Oh, I love it. Tennessee.
I'm a Texarian. Listen, I also want to mention this. So, by the way, congratulations if you're in Delaware. Obviously, vote for Sarah. It sounds like she's fighting for all the right things. And it just also goes to show you that the people have put so many roadblocks in front of only, and by the way, this counts for many people in this country and others. I'm talking about marginalized and oppressed peoples in the United States, including trans people, including many people of color, refugees in other countries, and in this one, people trying to come into this country and doing anything they can to come into this country. Those are the people who have to work the hardest to get to the top. And who doesn't want a really hard worker who's going to fight for people like them, not only at the top of the ticket, but at the top of every organization? Those are the people who will make companies successful because they know what it is to take your shoelaces and tie them really fucking tight and climb that ladder.
And also, I know people, I want to stop using this bootstrap phrase. You know what I mean?
I don't really know. I mean, why?
When people say when you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, it's
it
positive,
makes it sound like you did it all by yourself.
It's the entomology. Is that the right word? Whatever. Where from whence the phrase came.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Entomology. Thank you. It's supposed to be etymology.
Yeah.
Not entomology, which is the study of
insects.
bugs.
Yeah.
Thank you. What I'm trying to say is that pulling yourself up by your bootstraps is impossible, and that's supposed to be the spirit of that term. It's not possible,
right,
to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Well, I don't own boots. If I did, they wouldn't have straps.
You wish you had boots.
Okay, don't cuss. But also
I would love to see you in a cowboy boot.
You know, I owned some growing up for sure, but it's been a while.
But you blocked them out.
I don't want to wear them.
Yeah, I get it. They're loud.
Yeah. The Emmys, a lot of visibility this year too. Co-hosted by a gay man, Dan Levy, with his father. Baby Reindeer winning big with Richard Gadd, who is the bisexual creator, writer, and star. taking home all kinds of prizes for Baby Reindeer. His co-star Jessica Gunning, an out lesbian, also took home an Emmy for her work. And even though RuPaul didn't win for Outstanding Host or Outstanding Reality Program, at least Alan Cumming did.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, but Alan Cumming.
Fabulous.
For that show is garbage. I only watch it for him.
Oh, yeah, no.
I only watch it for him.
And what I have to say, his performance, and I am calling it a performance, is so good on that show. His looks are incredible on that show. Taylor Swift pretty much wearing every single one, but wore his fashions at the VMAs this year, the tartan and the way it was cut. But Alan Cumming also accepted his award, showed up to the Emmys wearing a trans flag medal on his outfit, which was incredible. He's been a vocal trans ally for a very long time. In fact, in 2020, he had I guess I can't remember the context of this, but he sent a message to people who get upset about when people share their pronouns. I think he was asked this on a red carpet. Like, how do you feel about people? What do you think about people who have a problem with people sharing their pronouns? And he goes, fuck you, which is great. So that's very exciting. Also, Jodie Foster winning her first Emmy for True Detective. It's Cold Up Here. Thrilled for her. In her acceptance speech, she said, love and work equals art. And then they panned to Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. On the nose are inspiring. I'll take both, to be honest with you. Also, Greg Berlanti accepted this year's Governor's Award. I didn't realize that the kiss on Dawson's Creek was the first on-screen kiss between two gay characters. I had no idea, and that was a Greg Berlanti show. And so he talked about, in his acceptance speech, queer visibility on television, and said that when he grew up, there wasn't really any gay characters on television, maybe just a couple, that it was a very lonely feeling not to see any representation of yourself. And that the first time, by the way, and this was obviously pre-internet where you couldn't connect with people online, and he said the only way to tell if another kid might be gay is if he also watched Dynasty Dallas and could name the Golden Girls, and said that the first time he saw gay men on television holding hands with other men was when they were protesting the White House for being silent on AIDS. That was the first time he saw men holding hands on television, which is wild to me. I mean, listen, I'm older than social media, but I even remember seeing more images than just that. That is very, not only inspiring, but also very, very sad. And finally, my favorite clip from the Emmys happened at the after party red carpet. It almost had me choked up when the trans actress Neva Mao, who was nominated also for Baby Reindeer, plays Richard Gadd's sort of on-again, off-again girlfriend in Baby Reindeer, ran into Laverne Cox on the red carpet. And it was immediately just heartwarming and made you shudder a little bit. So, Sergio, will you play that clip?
Hi.
Like,
Oh my god.
I'm supposed to keep it together in the hose.
Me too.
I'm so,
Me too. Oh my god.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Oh my god.
This show is so incredible, and the work that you do is so amazing. 10 years ago, I became the first openly transgender person to be nominated for an acting Emmy. And 10 years later, I'm not the last, you're the fourth, and you're the first in this category. How special is that for you?
We can cut the clip there. I just have to tell you, like, watching the recognition they have in each other's eyes when they see each other and immediately start crying, like, look where we're at. Look what we had to go through. None of it's even said. Look what we had to go through to get here. And here we are, both on a red carpet, acknowledging each other's work, Emmy nominated. And I see you and you see me. Unbelievable moment to me. It really gets chills even.
I think this is when I'm like, normalize crying and being exuberant and praising people. I feel like we were in a long time of just like people not doing. I mean, obviously they've been through a very similar trajectory, but like, I love people being like, I love you, I see you, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Out in public like that.
And
more
especially
of that.
when you recognize, like, I know what you had to go through to get here.
Yes.
And you're here, baby. Like, it just a beautiful moment. And that was my favorite part of the Was it that or Jelly Roll? Honestly, I'm going to have to get back to you about this one, actually. I ended it in a way that I thought was going to be that moment. And now I'm wondering if I should.
Does anybody announce him coming on stage like, let me hear you jelly roll? To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
Well, that's, I see, like a parody of Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
Right.
Has anyone thought of that? Am I the first? Am I the biggest genius that's ever existed?
You might be the first. You know what you should do? I have a great idea for a hashtag. Hashtag first.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now that's good.
Now that's good.
Put that on a t-shirt and smoke it.
Yeah, right.
Bryan, do you like roller coasters?
Honestly, love.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
going to love. Well, I don't know how you're handling life as an American following federal politics. That roller coaster.
That roller. You know,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm ready
that you
to
can't get off of.
I seem to be locked in.
Yeah, the safety bar is not coming up.
They will not unlatch that bar.
No, it is stuck. It is welded shut, as a matter of fact. Well, you're going to double love the Tower of Terror. That is what's happening with Missouri ballot measure Amendment 3. I don't know if you know anything about this.
I don't believe.
Okay,
I do.
so I'm going to explain all of it because I feel like it's being underreported. So dig, if you will, a picture of a ballot measure. By the way, did you read that article about Prince?
You know,
in the New
I
York
didn't,
Times?
and I was going to ask you about it because I bet you did.
Who knew geniuses were awful people? Everyone.
Everybody.
But the way that he was bad was not surprising, I guess, for a male musician, but also really reveals his demons.
Uh-huh. I will definitely read it.
Wendy and Lisa got the fact that he had created this. The thing that was the most upsetting was that he had, well, there's a lot of upsetting things, but the thing that I thought I took away was he had this very tumultuous family life. That's saying it nicely. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He
So it came
created
from
the
a
new
lot of
power
shit.
generation, which was Wendy and Lisa. And I forget the guitarist and keyboardist who are also in that, but he created this perfect family environment where they were collaborators. They pushed each other to be better and better and better. And then the minute they asked for pay raises, he was like,
I hate that.
You're dead to me.
So fucking much. Remember like the Johnny Carson, Joan Rivers thing? Like the minute she got her own show, he was like, I'm never speaking to you again. It's so disgusting.
It's
when people
fragile
feel
as shit.
that
Yeah.
that they're owed like that. And also that they want to keep you under their thumb like that.
But also
so
it's like,
selfish.
you're the fucking best there is.
Yeah, seriously, spread the fucking wealth. It's
Like,
so
you're
nasty.
the best. These people are like, you're bringing them along for the ride. They love you. They love you regardless. They're people who are going to say no to you, who are going to push you in a way. And then all they wanted was a fair, they didn't want the same. They just wanted pay raises. And he was like, sorry.
It's such a massive insecurity, and there's such sexism there too. And like, ugh,
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I do wanna read the
I
article.
recommend reading it because,
It was the New York Times that did it, right?
yeah. I mean, it's everything. It's how
No, I
he's a
wanna read it.
genius, how he's like, was constantly needing his father's approval, never going to get it. The black hole that a lot of artists have inside of them that
course.
will never be filled. The abyss that is goes on and on and on.
Yes.
Anyway, dig, if you will, a picture of a ballot measure, collecting all the signatures, actually more than all, like twice as many as it needs, to be put on the ballot in November, and letting the people of Missouri vote on whether or not they want to enshrine abortion rights in the state constitution. And then a state court striking it down and saying, we're not voting on this. And here's why. The ballot measure, when it was certified by State Attorney General Jay Ashcroft, a couple people sued him. Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, Representative Hannah Kelly.
Sorry, just so I'm clear. They tried to sue him when he wanted to put the measure on the ballot?
He certified the ballot measure and said, okay, it's going to go on the ballot.
I see.
This
Okay,
November.
So then he was sued from that.
And then they sued him under this pretense that, like, truly is the thinnest of loopholes, but essentially the gotcha was that these people said, these anti-choice people said, well, when you asked people to sign this, you didn't explain what it meant thoroughly, and they didn't really understand all the repercussions that would come about if we made abortion legal, which is very insulting to the people of Missouri. I think they know that they want this health care right put in the Constitution, but somehow they used that legal leverage to get it heard by the courts.
That's like, did you hear about, so apparently, you remember how in 2016 there were a lot of secret voters for Trump?
Yeah.
I read something interesting that they thought there would actually be secret voters for Kamala in this one. There's, I guess, like the Mormon church is super disgusted with Trump. And while it is definitely leaning more conservative, probably more will vote for Trump than
Kamala.
But there's like a whole movement that in like the women's restrooms at the Mormon church, there's like Post-its and graffiti that says your husband doesn't have to know who you voted for. Like there's a whole thing of like, you can lie and say you voted for Trump, but you don't have to, which is sad, obviously in its own way. But also I think they're thinking like maybe there could be a surge of votes for Kamala from women, because obviously I think in large part to the abortion thing, along with many other things. And just, you don't have to tell your husband or your friends or anyone in your community who you voted for.
Yeah.
Which
you don't have to. Although they're going to assume Trump if you say, I'd like to not say.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Because that's not technically lying.
Right.
So these women, Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, Representative Hannah Kelly, anti-choice activist Kathy Fork, F-O-R-C-K, if you ever heard that before.
Man, she doubled down on fork.
Forka.
Yeah.
And Marguerite Forrest, who operates a shelter for unhoused pregnant women in St. Louis County. And I looked her up. You can't look her up by her name, Marguerite Forrest, because she also goes by Marguerite Peggy. And Marguerite Peggy.
That might be my favorite name.
Marguerite Peggy.
Yeah.
The back and forth between Marguerite and Peggy. Those
Marguerite
names
Peggy.
never go together.
Yep. No, really?
They barely go
I will
solo.
definitely say never.
Yeah. She runs a nonprofit called Our Ladies Inn.
Marguerite Peggy Trish would be a great. They call it an inn?
Yeah, it's a shelter for unhoused pregnant people.
Okay.
They're going to use the term women. And what's interesting is I went on ProPublica's, like, they basically post all these organizations' taxes. They spend about $100K on services and somehow have $6 million in assets. So,
wow.
Anyway, when they're not running a real estate investment scam using pregnant women as their beers, they're out there suing the AG, Jay Ashcroft. And listen, my conspiracy theory mind goes right down to the tunnel of like, they're getting money from the government, they're getting money from something, and they're doing other shit with it, and they don't really care. But what are they doing? Like, what is the thing they are actually doing? Like, I know they're hurting people, and I know that they don't want people to have rights, and I know they want everyone to be peeing in the toilet of that their birth certificate says. But there's something, what is the other thing? Like, that, I don't buy any of that. Mm-hmm. I think that's just a hate shield. And there's some shit going on, and I want someone to uncover it, and it ain't going to be me because I don't have time.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have, I mean, what is it?
God,
Curlers
so
till
many
noon,
things. Oh my God. I mean, my friend bought me this for my birthday.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, and it's from Ireland from the 70s.
Oh, well, you've got to look at that.
And every day I've got to turn it. I go, okay, well, today is Monday.
Yeah.
And then I have to flip it until it goes to 16. You know what I mean? That takes a lot of time.
I spend 8 hours a day looking at all the art in my home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have time.
Yeah. I have a doll head without a body. I got to figure out something for her. You know what I mean?
But that's
like, this isn't fair to her.
Full day of brainstorming.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got stuff to do. But anyway, I did the beginning things of just Googling it.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Good. Yeah. That's good.
Okay. So then they sued, and then Judge Christopher Limbaugh of Cole County said he was the one who was like, oh, the people of Missouri signed this initiative. They didn't really know what, like, he's acting like they put a clipboard in front of them and said, "Do you want a free ice cream? Sign here." And they're like, "Ha ha! You decided to put Amendment 3 on the ballot, you ding dong." That's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So the people behind Amendment 3, they said, "All right, you going to strike this down from being voted on in November? We're going to take it right to the state Supreme Court." And in a shocking turn of events, the state's highest court overturned Limbaugh's ruling and said that the measure can stay on the November 5th ballot.
Okay.
And by the way, that court made the decision in a little under 3 hours before the constitutional deadline. So they barely got that passed.
Okay.
So the reason that these ballot measures have been so kind of contentious is because they've been working.
They win, right?
They win. And largely due to out-of-state funding, which should be happening because this is a federal issue. Being allowed to fight out in each state, but no done, no doy. When one state makes abortion illegal, it ripple effects to nearby states. This is a federal issue. I'm sorry. It is. Shout out to the Fairness Project, which has been dumping money into this measure. They're out of DC and cropped up during Trump 1.0. And they fight for a lot of great things: raising wages, expanding Medicaid, expanding paid sick leave, and abortion rights. So Kelly Hall, who's the executive director, she said this is what she had to say about the money they've been spending in Missouri. She said, it is expensive. And in these places where we can do it, it's the least expensive pathway to restoring rights. In Missouri, for example, it would take a lot more money to flip that legislature and to flip that gubernatorial
Right.
seat. The best return on investment we can get is putting this on the ballot and appealing to the Missouri voters who want this.
Yes.
And said also, this wouldn't be possible if there wasn't a groundswell of people who want this.
Right.
Like you said earlier, people want to move forward. We want to have an inclusive, safe environment where you have autonomy over your own body. You get to live freely and happily, and we can support each other in ways that are healthy and community oriented. Not this other shit, not this divisive shit. Missouri is one of 10 states where abortion rights groups have gotten ballot measures up for people to vote. And in Missouri, along with South Dakota, so only 2 states are the first states that if these measures pass, it would reverse a near total ban on abortion that were put on the books after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. It would also make it easier for Kansanians,
Which Kansas did pass
yes,
abortion access, right? Yeah.
The problem is that Kansas is right now, they have clinics that provide abortions and they don't have enough appointments to meet impossible demand from patients traveling from other states like Missouri.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. If you can make it, by making it abortion illegal in your own state, you're not taxing the state next to you where all your residents have to now go for health care.
Right.
If Missourians approve Amendment 3 they would take place in December because of some 30-day waiting period. And I'm sure there's going to be legal challenges, but it looks like it's going to win. And I hope this Christmas, people of Missouri have a nice little package under their tree of bodily autonomy. Now, I don't know what you wrap that in. I love a Santa Claus wrapping paper where he's in Bermuda suntanning.
That's cute.
That's what I like. My favorite Santa Claus is one on vacation.
Santa in flip-flips, nothing's better.
Summertime flip-flips.
Summertime flip-flips, nothing better.
But whatever it is, wrap that bodily autonomy up, honey, because Santa Claus will bring it right down the chimney.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go, as they say on... That's every bro on a reality show, correct? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's Faye Dunaway's first line in Mommy Dearest.
Oh.
Let's go.
She's got a different vibe underneath it.
Mm-hmm. Different vibe, yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you to all our lady attorneys who joined us for our monthly lady attorney jamboree.
And thank you, by the
Jamboree.
way, to 3 of my enemies who showed up today. And I'm going to
figure out who you are.
I'm going to cuss you out and
Figure out
threaten
who
you
you
right
are.
after this. I hope everyone's nervous.
If you'd like to be a lady attorney, all you have to do is go right on Patreon and sign up.
And by the way, the people who are my enemies, yes, are Erin and Sergio. Yes. And I do plan to launch a massive massive confrontation after this.
And you got to stick around for the Q&A if you want to hear that.
That's right. Also, yes, please go to patreon.com/attitudes, where we've got brand new groceries. We've got a brand new Dateline for $10 and up. Both of those are $10 and up. And we've got Woo or Shoe, where we talk about the headlines of the week. I mean, truly. Also, follow Attitudes Pod on Instagram, Attitudes Pod, because Sergio keeps it so updated and lays out the week and what you're going to get in a really concise, charming way. So do that.
Thank you, Sergio. And if you have any recommendations for grocery stores for me to cover in Philly, send them my way.
Yes.
DM.
Until then. Oh, should we reveal our new groceries tagline, or one of them?
Oh, yeah.
From the bottom of my cart.
See you in the aisles.
Yes.
We're just going to keep making it longer with more puns.
Absolutely. Bye.